Hi everyone, I'm Triangle. My kid is 11 years old and she joins the BeyBlade Camp at UTD first time.
Hi, I'm Marita Fowler, and we just brought our 9-year-old daughter to the BeyBlade Camp at University of Texas, Dallas.
My name is Aubrey. I have a son, Kai, and a daughter, Isabel.
My name is Ronald Craychan, and I'm coming from the city of Savannah, Texas, which is also Aubrey, Texas.
And we didn't know what to expect. We followed the camp via Google. We came in and we were greeted very warmly by everyone. We even made friends. So from now on, we'll continue with this journey and invest more in the sport and hope everyone can also enjoy this experience as well. Thank you.
We drove all the way over from Florida to find it. We found it online and kept talking about it. We're like, all right, we're going to go do this camp because our daughter started blading in May and she got hooked on it. We weren't sure what to expect when we came in, but we were welcomed. Everybody was so kind, and it was really fun. And they don't just teach the kids how to Beyblade, they teach them how to think about the Bey and how to build it and how science changes the dynamics of what you do. So she came in understanding Beyblades, but walked away with how to take it to that next level and asking questions on how to adjust her gameplay. Most importantly, she had the best week making friends and blading all day and learning science without even knowing it. So it was a great experience, and we hope to see you guys back again next year. And if you're on the fence about it, just come out and talk to the Beybladers or watch one of these tournaments. You're going to be hooked.
Kai has been really into Beyblades for a very long time, and so we have been seeking out activities related to that. And so he had been coming to the Texas BeyBlade League tournaments for a while, and they mentioned that they were having the camp, and that was an absolute must-do for him. There was no way he was going to miss it. So we signed him up for the first session, and he had such a good time with it. He just learned so much, and it's such a cool community where he gets to spend time with adults who are also interested in playing with Beyblades and just learning a lot about the physics and that sort of thing. So he had such a good time. And then we hadn't planned to have him attend the second session, but he really loved it. And so we let him attend the second session. And after his sister heard about it, she wanted to go too. And so for the second session, both kids ended up attending. And Isabel, my daughter, does not know as much about Beyblades, but in the 4 days that she spent there, she learned a lot about Beyblades, but also the physics behind it. And it was just such a cool experience. I do think it was cool because she did not, like I said, she did not know as much about Beyblades going into it. But because she doesn't know them as well, she sort of looked at it from a different perspective of it was cool to have her sort of become the strategist on her team, coming up with ideas for how they could design their Bey, their bit, I think it was. So that was pretty cool.
I brought my son, my 11-year-old son, Cooper, and my nephew also came for this week to visit. He came from southern part of Louisiana to visit us for a week. So both him and my son participated in the Beyblades camp they went to for 4 days on UTD campus. And then they also came to the Beyblades, the final competition. Yeah, my son Cooper was exposed to, he did Blades when he was a little bit younger, so he played it. He wasn't playing it as much. And my nephew, Kai, who's also with us, he was familiar with it. He just wasn't actively playing and doing Beyblades. My son got exposed to it and re-engaged with it when we came to a Beyblades event in January or February. My fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, some of the brothers came in to sponsor one of the mentor youth programs, and they also had a Beyblades competition that Nesby Jr. was supporting. And so my son, who came with me for the volunteer event, was able to get involved, and he surprisingly was just excited to be there, and that just re-engaged him into Beyblades. And he, ever since then, he wanted to join the BeyBlade League, and he'd just been talking about it. So we were, fast forward, we were introduced to the Beyblades first camp at UTD this summer by another one of my fraternity brothers who has a partnership with UTD, and Miss Jackie. And he, invited and asked my son if he would be interested. And so we decided to enroll him in the camp, him and my nephew. And it was really great. They really, really enjoyed the camp. So the camp was, I think, a pinnacle part of them being exposed to not only just having fun with Beyblades and the competition, but like understanding the science, the engineering, and the mechanics of how do you actually put together a Beyblade and what goes beyond it and the strategy part of it. So they were really exposed. They had a great time. And so I'd love to, I think he wants to like officially join the league and just participate more in the Beyblades.
Hi, my name is Maribel Lyons. I have 8-year-old boy twins. They got into Beyblade watching cartoon about 2-3 years ago, and one of them one day told me, "Can you find us a camp? We want to play Beyblade." And I thought, oh, that's so silly. There's no Beyblade camps. It's a cartoon. But then eventually I was like, you know what? Let me look into it so I could at least say I looked into it. There's nothing. And then sure enough, I found this UTD Beyblade, the Texas BeyBlade League, and I was surprised and I was so excited because it was part of like the UTD Black Engineers, and it was a like educational thing. So I was so happy to let both of them know that I found something, and that's when we started attending the tournaments here about 2 years or so. And they love it. They love coming. I love the competitions that they get to compete with different age groups and learn to win and lose. But yeah, they still, to this point, they get excited every time there's an event.
How have they developed as a result of learning the science approach to Beyblade as opposed to just the game itself? What else have they learned by accident as a result of being involved in the program?
I noticed like now it's not just about launching, but they have like more vocabulary about it. This is how one's faster, one has more stamina, and things that I still don't understand. But so that is good to know, and then how to work it to they go a different direction and all that. So, and it's nice to when Spencer and the guys and the people that work give them tips and more information for them to understand the concept.
Very good. Do you think that they will be involved with Beyblade tournament and competitions much longer? I mean, because it's not just for 8-year-olds.
Yeah. Yes, I feel like they are. It still surprises me because they're very active boys. And it's always surprised me that they could just sit there and wait for them to find out if they win or lose. I love that, they do it at home as well. So like I said, it's been more than 2 years since just to see them still interested. It's amazing, and I could see it. And then I could see them going on, and then especially they see the different age groups that come to the event that they know it's not just for little kids.
And all of our friends back in Florida ask us, what in the world would make you go to Texas in the heat of the summer? We had 2 words for them: barbecue and Beyblades. So we just spent the last week over here north of Dallas having a good time in this Beyblade camp. And I say we because our daughter did the camp, but every day after camp we went home and we Beybladed for an extra 2 or 3 hours with the things that she learned at camp. So it was a lot of fun, and they taught her at the camp not just to think about the Beyblade as a toy or as a straight launch, but to look at the different components and experiment with the ways that you launch and how the effects of science determines how the Beyblade reacts and how it performs. She learned science without even realizing it because she was having fun Beyblading all week and making new friends. And that was a great thing. Beyblade brings people together and they just want to have fun. And this is one of the few sports where competitors will shake hands after the match and be like, wow, that was just a phenomenal match. And we felt that energy and that positivity from the camp all week. So we're really grateful for it. And hopefully we'll see you guys back here next summer.
All right, let's stand by. So Beyblade is fun for parents as well.
It is.
Because it makes, you see the excitement in the kid. That's the main thing.
And I think there's one point maybe you can bring in where your whole family is actually involved. Right?
So what?
Her whole family is actually involved. Like her husband was competing as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not just that
He's recording. He's so good.
Oh,
I caught on to you looking.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
Never.
good. That's how you get those candid
It's
talks.
called candid
yeah.
shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can clip them.
You know, part of the Beyblade competition for how long? Have you have your child over here?
My son has been attending the Texas BeyBlade League tournaments for, I think this makes 2 years now. 2 years this summer. And my daughter is participating in her first today after having attended the camp.
After 2 years, his interest is still peaked in that area?
He loves it. Yeah.
Is it the competition, or is it the friendship with the meeting new kids, or what is it exactly that he finds that he likes about it when he talks about it later?
I think he likes to be challenged. I think one thing that's really cool about the tournaments is that there's a huge range of ages. So like, maybe 7 or 8 years old up to adults participating in it. And so he's able to compete against people. Sometimes, other kids maybe don't look as much at the science part of it, but when you're dealing with older people, they do think more about like the physics and how to choose your bays and that sort of thing. So I think he likes competing against people who look at it from that more like sciencey perspective.
So he could be a future engineer as a result. learning about the revolutions and the speed and impacts and that sort of thing.
Right.
Okay. Can you just again state your name and from what city you come from, and again, will you come back again?
My name is Aubrey. I live here in Richardson, Texas, and for sure we will be back again.
All right, thank you. Your nephew will be coming back again, or as well as your son?
Yes, my son will definitely be returning to the BeyBlades League, as we will look further into maybe him joining the league, also him participating in other BeyBlades camps. My nephew, who's not from here, he may not be able to join the league since he lives in another state, but I believe his exposure to Beyblades, the camp, and the engineering foundations is going to continue to pique his interest, whether he wants to come back for the summer or he decides to join in his area where he resides.
He could be a future student of UTD.
Yeah,
in engineering.
and that's what I'm laying I'm laying the foundation for him to get exposure to also early college life and what it's like to learn and be in a campus where he can explore more and see more. So I think these are great elements early in their early childhood that they'll remember, and I think it'll make a difference as they maybe seek to go to college and further their education.
Fantastic.
Yes, that's amazing, because at the beginning, we just saw, like you said, just some toys spinning around, and to see it was part of the engineering, right? It's a learning. The boys could learn, and we could learn in the process of how they work and interact with each other.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.